We are virtual tour stop 7. Now, before we continue on with the story, we have to talk about what we're going to be actually seeing at tour stops 7, 8, and 9. These attacks are supposed to be going across open farm fields that would have been at the American Third Line, but as you're going to see, most of this terrain is now densely wooded. So keep that in mind as I describe the terrain to you. So you are now in the footprint of the 33rd Regiment of Foot. You're up here on the high ground, you're looking down the low ground, and up on the other side of the high ground, which would have been cleared, you would have been able to see 2 6-pounders under the command of Captain Ebenezer Finley. Finley's guns are out there holding the north end of the line. They're actually in the center of the American Third Line. But to the British standing here, they think these guns are either unguarded or lightly guarded. They can't clearly see the 1st Maryland, who would have been off to their south, and the Virginia regiments that are off to their north. So when they get here, all they see is 2 guns on the high ground across, and they think we have a great opportunity to capture some American guns. So what we're going to do is go right on the attack. We're going to keep all of our momentum, and we're going to go and pretty much try and collapse that American Third Line. Now, as the 33rd Regiment of Foot stumbles down this terrain, and that's the way they describe it, stumbling down, that's how steep this terrain is, that's when they're going to realize the mistake they've just made. It is not just 2 6-pound guns up there. There are regiments to either side, and what they're going to do is fire into the flanks of the 33rd. By the time the 33rd gets into that low ground down there, they're going to be fired at directly by those 2 6-pounder guns. They're going to be fired at by the Virginia state line troops that are just off to their north, and just off to the south, 1st Maryland's actually going to swing out of line just a little bit so they can get everybody to have their guns focused on the 33rd. The 33rd gets down into that low ground, gets hammered, and comes right back up this rise to where we are. And this is where they're going to sit until the American Third Line finally starts to retreat. Now, to help you understand why that was such a devastating loss, that is what we call a piecemeal attack. In military terms, what you want to do is you want to get all your units going together, attacking the same point, working together so that your opponent can't shift his men around to meet the threat. That's the opposite of what the 33rd did. They got here by themselves, attacked by themselves, and that allowed the American Third Line to refocus its troops to hammer them and drive them back. And that's what's going to happen on the other end of the American Third Line. But what we're going to do at our next tour stop is talk about how the terrain and how the situation there and how the troops that are stationed there are going to cause things to go a little bit differently.